Zos wants to know how you feel about classes in the Elder Scrolls Online. They talked about this in a recent post, saying, in Update 48's preview live stream, we've seen your feedback and questions surrounding classes and combat direction, and we want to learn more. To help us inform our work, we're interested in your opinion concerning the ESO's current class selections, including their visuals and animations, their current ability kit and playstyle, and their pain points. Share your thoughts via this player survey. Note it will only be live until October the 3rd, so don't hesitate to fill it out ASAP. It says this is the first part of their work on ESO's classes, and they'll be sharing a long-term plan in the coming months. Now, I took this survey. It's about 5 to 7 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, depending on if you answer something about every single class. It does ask you what classes you play and what you would like to answer questions about. There's no crazy questions in here that it's going to be mind-blowing to actually fix something, in my opinion. It's pretty basic, kind of what you would expect in a player survey for a game. But the odd thing to me is it only is available till October the 3rd, and the only way you're ever going to see it is if you're here on the ESO website or maybe on a social media site somewhere and you see this posted from ESO or from the devs. I feel like if they really want to get player feedback, they should be posting this in-game. This should be posted when you log in, and you should be able to see this, of course, as soon as you log in, your character loads up. It should ask you, do you want to take a player survey about the class system? And of course, you can hit yes or no. If you hit no, it does not need to be popping up 100 times after that. As soon as you hit no, you will never see that message again until there's a different survey out. But if you hit yes, of course, you can go out and fill out that information, and they're going to be able to get a lot broader answer, or a lot broader answers in general from the community. Because I feel like a lot of the player base is not going to be on ESO's forums, on ESO's website, or on social media looking for this stuff. A lot of players, as we all know, look into updates usually after they come out. They're not looking into updates and things before they come out. So they're not reading the public test server patch notes. They might, watch a YouTube video or somebody stream or something like that. But a lot of the core player base is going to be casual, so they're not looking into everything. So only having this available to October the 3rd and having it on the website, or like I said, maybe from social media, is kind of strange because you're not going to get a very big sample size of players taking this survey. And I feel like if you really want to know how everyone feels about the class system, you really need to know how everyone feels. So, like I said, if they don't decide they want to take the survey, that's perfectly fine. But I still think if this was a thing that came up in game, it would give you a whole lot better idea of what's really going on inside of ESO in a lot of players' minds. And I really think that's how they need to do all their surveys from now on. I've always thought that Zos should be doing surveys inside of ESO, asking questions to the player base, because that is where you're going to get the majority of your answers. Like I said, everyone's going to be able to see that available to them and decide if they want to take the survey or not, and you're not going to have that smaller group taking it. Because I feel like the players that are going to see this are going to be like myself, people that actually keep up with everything inside of ESO, and they're probably going to hear a lot of the same stuff that they've already heard for years and years now, and we know none of that's really been fixed, so I don't know what we're going to gain from this, honestly. And I kind of find it strange as well that this is the first part of their work on ESO classes, and they'll be sharing a long-term plan in the coming months. I'm really going to be curious to see what that long-term plan is. Because sometimes when Zos says long-term plans, it kind of worries people because it takes way too long for those plans to ever develop. Is this going to be something that they're working on next year? Is this going to be something they're working on for the next several years? And that's probably what it's going to take to get everything right. You're in an evolving game that is somewhat live service, that it is an MMO. It's hard to get everything done quickly, and I understand that. But at the same time, it's going to be hard to make a lot of promises for class changes if it's going to be a long, drawn-out process. Because as we all know, some players are going to get impatient and just decide not to play anymore. They're going to want fixes now, and then kind of be done with it if they're not out quickly. So I really am curious to see what this player survey kind of does for the game, if anything, because like I said, I feel like the player base that's actually going to see this is not going to be enough of a sample size to really get anything different than we've seen in the past, or different answers than we've seen in the past from the devs. I really wish it was more of a larger group in the community being able to see this and take it And I think that's why they really need to start implementing these surveys into the game themselves, or into the game itself. That way everyone has a chance to take it if they want to or not. Leave me a comment with your thoughts. Do you think we'll actually see anything come of this player survey, or do you kind of feel like I do? And it's going to be kind of the same answers we've always heard from us. Of course, if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.